So is it really better to start small? And have you ever been concerned about, I'm not thinking big enough and I should probably be more ready and so on? This is day 2 of the Mindset Challenge. I've got several mindsets that we're going to be sharing over the next several weeks, 11 currently, that are all going to help you be better at taking action and in turn getting more of what you want. So stick around. Hello, Dale Majors here, and welcome to day 2. Is it better to start small? So let me start with this. Have you ever procrastinated something for a long time, and then when you finally did it, you thought, oh, that was kind of easy? A lot of times we put things off because in our minds, they're a lot bigger than they actually are. If we can just get ourselves started, then we're much more likely to have quicker success. And a lot of times, it just means picking a smaller thing. David Allen, in his book, Getting Things Done, talks about choosing the next action step. So if you're gonna change your tires, which even may be a small thing, we still put it off. It becomes way easier when we say, call the tire place. Or even easier when we say, find the number for the tire place. And then when your task says, call 801 yada 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 to set an appointment for the tires, it's way easier to start. Dale Carnegie wrote an amazing book called How to Win Friends and Influence People, which actually started as a small discourse, like a 45-minute presentation. But that presentation evolved and evolved and evolved into one of the best, most famous self-help books ever. My own venture guide, so I wrote this guide, started as like a 2-page deal where I said, what do I really care about? What's the most important thing to me that I want to talk to other people about? It was 2 pages, but then it turned into 70 pages, and it's turned into so much more. It started really small, where if I would have said, I need to write a book, it would have been much easier to put off. The first family bike trip we ever took was taking our 1-year-old to Logan, which is a town 100 miles away, which actually seems kind of big. We took smaller ones from there. But fast forward, we've taken, 2 years ago, we took 4 of our kids 1,000 miles across France and into Germany. But we got into it by starting really small. When I was a kid and had a half pipe, when I started to learn how to do a backflip, which I never finished by the way, I went up the ramp and rolled back in a somersault to start to get it. And within a day, I was able to go up and do a whole flip and land on my knees. But I started really small. When I learned how to do a backflip on the ground, and I'll show some footage here, it was so ugly. But within a few times, because I started within a few times of going to gymnastics, and I'll show you this one, I was able to land it. I love this quote from Mark Twain. The secret to getting ahead is getting started. Okay? The secret of getting started is breaking your complex, overwhelming tasks into small, manageable tasks and then starting on the first one. It's very much that next action step by David Allen, but that quote was from Mark Twain. Think big, but start small. I'd wanted to learn French for so long, and I kept putting it off. I never gave the time to start 30-minute lessons, but when I gave myself permission to start really small and take 5-minute lessons every day on Duolingo, I actually stuck with it, and I've been doing it for 5 years. Small efforts learning a language have made it so I can speak decently well in another 3rd language. Another good thing about starting small is it gives you immediate feedback. A lot of times when I started my company Bike Wagon, it really was just selling things on eBay. We bought an item, sold an item, I'd buy more items, sold more items. We didn't go and get a bank loan and spend $30,000 on inventory. We spent $50, then $100, then $200, then $2,000. Eventually we were spending hundreds of thousands of dollars on single buys, but because we learned very slowly how it all worked, we were able to manage that. So we started small. Virgin Airlines started small. Richard Branson missed his flight, or it got canceled, and he went and chartered a plane, sold tickets to that chartered plane for $29 each to all the passengers that were stranded, and that's how Virgin Atlantic was started. So the tip for today is to start small. Appreciate the small things. Introductions, networking events, meeting new people, all very little, small, significant things that can make a huge difference in your life. So I want you to think about something that you've been putting off and think about what the next action step is and start it, even though it's really small. Comment below about what that is, and I will be your friend. And tomorrow we're going to talk about meeting new people and the value that we can get from meeting new people. I have a bunch of reasons why that will make you next networking event that you go to, you're going to be that much more committed to putting yourself out there because of all the benefits that I'm going to share with you in the next video. So thank you for being here for day 2, and I will see you on the next one.